Thank you for joining us. Welcome to LumioseStation.
What's up, LumioseStation, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokémon DataDex with me, TheOneIntegral. Last week we covered the legendary Pokémon Entei, and I asked you guys which Pokémon you wanted to see this week. The choice was between Florges and Sylveon, and Florges came out on top. I shall address the issue, the situation right now. Pronunciation of the name, Florges, is probably what I'm going to go with in general. I've seen people pronounce it Flores, Florges, 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 and I'm going to go with Florges, I guess. I really don't know which is the right one, so everyone's got their own opinion. I'm just going to go with Florges. I'll go with Florges, okay? Hopefully that doesn't annoy anyone. We'll see in the comment section anyway. But we have the vote for next week to actually sort out. And next week's episode 85, and you guys know what that means. We have another Mega Evolution that we're going to be covering. And I just sort of put a straw poll on Twitter and listed a load of Mega Evolutions we haven't done and asked you guys to pick a vote. And the vote we have between is Mega Manectric and Mega Camerupt. So two Pokemon from the Hoenn region, two Megas there. Which one do you want to see? Do you want to see the electric type Manectric or the fire type Camerupt? I'm not sure. Is it fire ground? I think it's fire ground. I'm not sure. Whichever one you want, guys. Just drop a comment down below saying either Manectric or Camerupt, and the one that gets the most votes will be covered in next week's episode. But for now, let's have a look at Florges. So Florges, okay, pronunciation is going to be real. I might switch between them. I don't know. Florges. Okay, Florges. Level number 671 in the National Pokédex, obviously being introduced in the Kalos region. It is a pure fairy type and is the Garden Pokemon. Dimension wise, it stands at 3 foot 7 inches or 1.1 meters tall, so it's pretty big for a flower, and it weighs 22 pounds or 10 kilograms. So it's not too heavy and it's not amazingly huge, but it's fairly big. Egg and breeding wise, it's in the fairy egg group, and it is a female 100% of the time. It's a female only sort of species, evolution line, whatever. Speaking of evolution line, there are 3 stages here. The first one we have is Flabébé. Starting at level 19, it will evolve into Floette, and then when you use a shiny stone on Floette, you will get your Florges. However, Florges does not actually learn any moves by level up, as with most stone evolutions. Once you evolve it, they don't learn any more moves, so it's sort of generally better to keep your Floette as a Floette until you've got all the moves you want, and then simply evolve it for its use in competitive battling. Base stat wise, if we take a quick look here, we have some good base stats, to be honest. Its highest base stat is special defense at 154, which is pretty darn high. And then we go down to special attack at 112, and then going further down we have health points at 78, speed at 75, and then finally defense at 68 and attack at 65. So as you can tell, it's a pretty big special defensive and bulky Pokemon there. Its physical defense isn't as strong, but it is decent, I guess. Physical attack is just lackluster completely, so it's not like we're going to be using that, but its special attack is also pretty powerful as well, despite it being this huge bulk. Its speed is 75, so again it's not really going to be that fast at Pokemon. However, it's not really needed, to be honest, in this case, I guess. Ability wise, for Florges we have 2 available. The first one is Flower Veil, which prevents the lowering of any ally grass type Pokemon's base stats. This isn't going to help you in a single battle because you're on your own. So yeah, that's it. And the second ability is hidden ability is Symbiosis, which means it can pass an item to an ally. Again, that's only useful in double or triple battles. So looking purely at single battles here, neither of these abilities are going to help, so you may as well just get Flower Veil for the easier breeding. But in terms of double triple battles, Flower Veil is probably still the better choice, just simply because you're going to be if you pair Florges or a grass type Pokemon, their stats can get lowered. I'm not sure if it prevents any sort of self-lowering of stats, like if a Sceptile used Leaf Storm. I'm not sure if it prevents that, but it's still pretty helpful anyway. But yeah, Symbiosis could be useful in a double battle sort of situation if you wanted to focus. I don't know what you particularly use it for. It's when an item is used up from your ally. So say your item eats their Citrus Berry, you would then pass your current item onto them. So maybe you could do something like that, maybe I don't know, situations you might be able to come up with something there if you're going for your double battle sort of strategies there, but those are what the abilities do. In terms of single battles, you may as well just go for Flower Veil. So the typing. Pure Fairy, obviously being introduced in this generation, so there's not a huge amount to say since it is pure, but we shall go for it anyway. It resists 3 types of Fighting, Bug and Dark, and it's weak to 2, which are Poison and Steel. It's immune to Dragon, which is pretty darn good, and it takes neutral from all the other types. Generally, this isn't an amazing type, I guess. I mean, just simply because of the fact that it has so many moves it takes neutral from. It's not like it's got 5 resistances. If it had 5 resistances, it'd be a decent amount better. However, it doesn't. It's just got 3. Fighting, Bug, Dark. I mean, Bug is not that common, neither is Dark really, and Fighting is sort of semi-common. So, just weighing it up at the moment, it's a bit like, your weaknesses are Poison and Steel. They're not too common, I guess. I mean, they're a bit more common now with Fairy type having a weakness to them, but they're still not amazingly common. And Dragon is not too common move since it has no strengths apart from against other dragons. However, you can use this immunity to switch in on like an outrage or something to basically stop your enemy from doing what they're doing, which sometimes might be helpful. If they got Dragon type, you can predict the Dragon type move and switch in to prevent your ally from taking damage. Something along those lines. But generally the typing isn't really, in my opinion at least. It does have some bonuses, but unfortunately most of it is going to take a lot of damage from most Pokemon. However, its special defense does actually make up for it, so it's not like you're going to take loads of damage from loads of types. Of course, if they're special moves, you're going to tank them up pretty well. So if we take a look at the moves that are viable, or some of the moves that are viable on Florges, one of those, we have a few level ups, a few TMs, and then 1 tutor move. So remember, all these level up moves are going to have to be learnt as a Floette. They're all a Floette, a Flabébé or a Floette. Because of course, once you evolve, you can't learn them by leveling up. You can learn some of them by heart scale, but of course it's just easier to level up and get these moves before you evolve it in the first place. So the first one we have is learnt at level 20 as a Floette, obviously, and this is Wish. Wish is going to be very helpful for you for health point restoration, especially because you're pretty tanky. You can Wish, you can tank the next move unless of course you're really low, tank the next move and then hopefully restore health points, and obviously more than you had just taken, otherwise that's a bit sort of counterproductive. So that's what Wish is for there. You can also use Wish to pass on to your teammates, so if you use Wish and then just switch out, if you can maybe predict the enemy's move, you can sort of predict what Pokemon you can go to and how what damage you're going to take from them, because say your Weavile is on 10% health, there's no point switching out to Sneasel and Weavile and saying, right, I'm just going to switch out and Wish is going to heal them up, because of course the enemy might attack them and then they'd be dead anyway, and Wish would do nothing. So you have to use it in strategic ways. You can't just Wish and switch. So that's why you use that there. Then level 38 can learn Aromatherapy, again as a Floette. This is very helpful because it gives Florges the ability to heal up your entire team, basically. Any stats conditions that were on your team are just healed away. It's pretty good, especially if you've got a physical attacker who is burnt. Aromatherapy, they're useful again. It's also useful for you because, of course, you being a bulky Pokemon, they might say, right, we'll just throw Toxic at them, and Toxic will work down your health points fairly quickly, and then that will be you gone. It doesn't matter how high your special defense is, Toxic is just going to work through it. However, if they Toxic you can just Aromatherapy the next turn, boom, that strategy is gone, because then, of course, they can just Toxic, you'll Aromatherapy, and on and on and on. Of course, it might work you down slowly, but generally, it's not going to help them if you have Aromatherapy. So very useful for your team and very useful for you as well. Then level 46, the final level up we have here. So that's sort of, I guess, the level you might want to go up to as a Floette. Level up to level 46 and then evolve is Moonblast. And this is your only attacking move we have here listed. There are other ones you could learn, which like Magical Leaf maybe and stuff. However, you get Stab on this one. It's the most powerful one you're going to get. And really, you're not an attacker anyways. We're not looking at going for a special attacking Florges, for example. We're simply going for what it's used for, basically. What the basic stuff, I guess I'm saying here. Moonblast is going to do decent damage. It has a chance to, I think, lower the special attack of the Pokemon, which is also useful because, of course, they're going to do even less damage to you if they're a special attacker, so it's always good there. And it's going to cover, it'll cover a good few sort of types, I guess. Obviously, your free resist, or of your free resistances, you have the Fairy type is super effective against 2 of them, Fighting Dark. You're not going to have too much damage against Fire, but you have some pretty good coverage there. Obviously, we're not looking to do decent damage here, but it can be just something, a subsidiary basically. If you're at full health, what else are you going to do apart from attack basically? Then going on some TMs, we have TM04 Calm Mind. Of course, this is going to raise both our special attack and special defense, so you're going to do more damage on the moves that you can attack, and you're going to be even bulkier in the special defense department, and I'm not going to complain about that at all really. Then we have TM06 Toxic. Instead of relying on your attacks to lower them down, you can just Toxic, and then you're most likely going to outlast the opponent. You know, in a 1v1, if you have Toxic and they have Toxic, if you also have Aromatherapy, boom, you know, you're done. And of course, it depends. If they're an attacker, they're going to be able to work you down quicker as well. It obviously depends what other moves you're running as well, but generally you would win because you just have the bulk basically. So that's why you want to run Toxic possibly. Then we have TM17 Protect. Of course, this would help in the aforementioned 1v1, of course, because then you can protect all their attacking moves, and you're going to heal up as well with leftovers, which you're presumably running, or a Wish. That's why the other reason why you might want to run Protect, because you can Wish, Protect, boom, you're going to survive the next move definitely, and then you're going to get healed up. So that's why you might want to run Protect there. The final move we have is a tutor move from Auras, and this is Synthesis. Now this is an alternative to Wish, for health and restoration. Instead of having to wait a turn, you just do it straight away. The downside to this is you can't pass it on to your teammates. It will just purely be for Florges, so you have to sort of weigh that up. If you have other methods, if you have, for example, another Wisher on the team, yeah, feel free to just run Synthesis, because obviously then you're going to be healing basically twice as fast because you can do it on turn rather than have to wait a turn. It's just you can't pass it on to teammates. Of course, if the sun is up, I think it means you're going to heal more. And if it's raining, then you're going to heal less. So of course that is another thing to take into account. However, rain and weather teams are less common in Generation 6 anyway, so it's not too much of a worry. It's not like you're going to get faced with a rain team every other game, and your Synthesis is going to be completely useless, because of course there just aren't as many rain teams or purely rain focused teams out there nowadays. So yeah, those are the moves for Florges. How would we actually use those moves in competitive sets? Well, we have two here. The first one is sort of a basic set, you know, you're there, you know, you're gonna do a bit of damage, and also you're acting as utility for your team with Aromatherapy and Wish. And the other one is more of a sort of, it's focused on Florges. It's a selfish Florges set, so if you have other utility on your team, you can certainly think about running the second set. However, let's look at the first set first. The moveset we have is Wish, Protect or Synthesis, Moonblast, and Aromatherapy or Toxic. Ability is Flower Veil. As we said, it's probably a better one in general. Nature is a bold one, held item is a leftovers, and the EVs we have maximum health points, maximum defense, and the rest in special defense. So, first up the moves. Wish, this is going to help you be utility to your team. You can heal yourself up, and also you can pass on the Wish to other Pokemon on your team, so that's where that comes in there. Protect or Synthesis, this is up to you. I'd probably recommend Protect, because obviously Protect Wish is sort of the combo we're going for. However, you could also run Synthesis. And if it's a case of you need to heal up, you can just synthesize yourself and get the health points up straight away, rather than having to Wish Protect. In that case, it's just what you want to go for, really. I recommend Protect, but you can run Synthesis. Then we have Moonblast. As I mentioned, that's our only attacking move, so that is that basically. You know, if you have a free turn, just use Moonblast. And then the last move you have is Aromatherapy or Toxic. Aromatherapy is probably what I'd recommend here, just so you can actually help your team out. You know, healing burns, waking Pokemon up, I think, you know, healing poison, whatever. You could also run Toxic there if you want to do a bit more damage to the opponent as you go. The only trouble is if you then get Toxic, you're in a bit of trouble there, because you have nothing else to help you out, basically. So the ability we've spoken about already, Nature is a bold one, which is going to lower our physical attacks when we're not using it, and it's going to increase our physical defense, I do believe. No wait, this increases our special, no wait, it increases our physical defense. I'm just remembered off the top of my head here. Increases physical defense. Because our special defense is already so high, we really don't need to put all our sort of stats into that, because what would be the point? It's already high enough to take hits. You could run a fully special defensive set, however that would make you very, very vulnerable to a physical attacker. They could easily just come out and a poison jab will take you out in 1 or 2 hits. So really, you want to put some stuff into defense. We have the bold nature there. Held item is the leftovers, because that's going to be sort of our consistent health restoration. hence why Protect is also sort of useful there, because you can protect every other turn and just get health points back. Say the enemy has nothing to maybe increase their stats, you can just do that, you can just Moonblast, Protect, and go for as long as possible, getting the most out of your leftovers there. Eevee's maximum health points for the bulk, maximum defense, as I get said again, just sort of raise it up and be as bulky as possible in the defensive side as well. And then special defense, we're going to put the rest in there just to give you a bit there. May as well. This set isn't going for damage really, we're just looking to be utility for our team and hang around for as long as possible. That's why we're building as bulky as possible. How would you use this set? Well, you don't want to lead off of it really, because this set, there are two main parts for this set. They're wishing, healing teammates, and then aromatherapy healing teammates as well, or applying toxic to targets. If you send out as your first Pokemon, there's no teammates to heal. Why would you do? There's no point to do that. So leave it in your team, leave it at the back, and then bring it in as you need it. Say your most powerful Pokemon's gone into half health. Okay, switch out. Look for a good opportunity to switch Florges in. Maybe if you're running toxic the opponent, so they have something to deal with and worry about. Do a bit of damage to them, maybe force a switch if possible, and then wish onto that Pokemon. Same thing with aromatherapy. If you get, say, you have two tanks on your team, so Florges and then maybe a physical tank like Shuckle or something like that, I don't know. Say they get poisoned with toxic, then of course you want to get rid of that as soon as possible, so switch out the Pokemon and then switch in Florges when you can, and aromatherapy up. That's sort of how you'd use that Pokemon there. It's not for leads, it's for utility later on in the battle. So let's look at the second set now for Florges. We have sort of the, I guess, more offensive set. It's a more selfish set, as I said. Moveset, we have Calm Mind, Moonblast, Synthesis, and Aromatherapy. Abilities, Flower Veil again, Nature again is bold, Held Item again is Leftovers, and the EVs are fairly similar. Maximum health points again, just for all the bulk. Maximum defense again for all the sort of the physical defense, just to bring it up equal. And then here we have the rest in special attack, so we can do a tiny bit more damage. But really, that's because we're using Calm Mind to increase our special defense in the first place, so it's not really needed. We may as well get a bit more damage off. Not much, but a bit more. So the moveset, Calm Mind is sort of what you want to focus on. You want to come into battle, and then you just want to Calm Mind up once or twice, as much as you can really. This is going to increase your special attack, so you can do more damage with your attacks. There's no point in going Moonblast, Calm Mind, because the Moonblast is going to do less damage than if you went Calm Mind, Moonblast. And of course you'd have the special defense boost for the second turn as well. So really you just want to Calm Mind once or twice when you come into battle. Then Moonblast is your main attack. Obviously this isn't going to help if you get faced with a poison type or a steel type or fire type, because it's going to resist it. So this is the only downside of this sort of set, because you have no toxic to help you out. Synthesis we have rather than Wish here, because this is, as I said, a selfish set. We just want to heal ourselves up, so if you get down to half health, just synthesize up and you're good. Last we have aromatherapy. This is still a utility you could still use to help your team out, however it's also for you, because if you're not running aromatherapy, say run Protect instead, toxic can just easily be put on you and that's you down, because that would be one of the ways, that would be one of the ways they look at you. Okay, you've got +3 special defense. If say they only have special attackers left, that's not going to help them very much. They're not going to do any damage to you. The only option is to use a toxic or maybe a burn. Aromatherapy counters that. So say you have a Florges with +3 special defense at the end of the battle and all they have is special attackers, you're going to win basically, unless you screw up hard. So that's the reason we definitely want to run aromatherapy on this set here. Flower Veil, we've spoken about ability already. Again, Nature, because we want to bring our physical defense up almost in line with our special defense as much as we can at least. Held Item Leftovers, because we want to help our restoration at the end of every turn. And then the EVs, maximum health points for the bulk, maximum defense to bring up equal, and as I said already, the rest in the special attack just sort of give us a bit more damage. How would you use this set? Again, I don't think we should really, start off with it, because the aromatherapy could be useful later on in the battle. You don't want to go in, Calm Mind once or twice and be taken out by a physical attacker, because then your utility is gone for the rest of the battle. So hang around for a bit longer, look for a good opportunity to go in. Say they have a special attacker out in the field that's not going to have any moves that are super effective against you, so they're going to have to switch. You can use Calm Mind, and then obviously, as I said, if they have only special attackers left, that's a perfect situation for you to go in and start Calm Minding up, synthesize to get back to full health, and then just start doing some damage to them while they try and do damage to you, which of course, if you've got some Calm Minds up and they're a special attacker, it's just not going to happen. So really, yeah, that's how you would use that set. hang around for a bit longer, try and get rid of their physical threats. You know, you don't want to be faced against a Mega Lucario. That's just not going to be nice because he's going to bullet punch you, and that is going to be you gone. So you really have to watch out and be careful when you send in this Florges. You can't just send it at the start of the battle and expect everything to be okay, because physical attackers will eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So guys, that's sort of it for that set there. That's sort of it for all the sets. That's it for Florges in general. That's going to be it for today's episode. As you all remember, hopefully at the start of the episode, I asked you guys to vote. If you have not already, be sure to do that in the comment section below now. Do you want to see Mega Manectric or Mega Camerupt to cover next week? If you want to see Manectric, comment down below saying Manectric. If you want to see Camerupt, comment down below saying Camerupt. But guys, that is going to be it for this week of the Pokemon DataDex. I thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. But for now, I'll be seeing you next week. Thank you for watching. Goodbye, my friends.